Yeah, well, we spoke to an expert on lone wolf terrorism, and he said he cannot think of a single other situation of a lone wolf situation like this where there was no evidence, nothing regarding the person's motivation, nothing left behind, no manifesto. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't happen in these type of situations.
Well, yeah, but if it is a government operation and the government was controlling the operation and they were involved with it, if it really was some type of gun running operation gone wrong, then the government being, first responders on the scene, and what we know that the FBI took control of the investigation immediately, and then, followed by DHS, of course, then that gives them the power to control the narrative and control the evidence and control what people know. So who knows if we're really ever going to find the truth out. But I think it's so detrimental that, it's even causing the president not to speak about it. The president has spoken about Parkland. He's held several events. The White House has been very talkative about Parkland. But the president only spoke about the Las Vegas shooting one time.
Yeah, although he did go to Las Vegas in the aftermath. Well, let's talk about, you mentioned gun running. Psddock bought 58 weapons in the year prior to the shooting. 18 or 19 were found in the room. But clearly this guy was either running guns or certainly had a very strong interest in guns for some reason. So there's certainly some reason to start digging in that direction. What have you found in that regard?
Well, like I said, the public has not, or the media has not really been diligent in tracking down a lot of these weapons, identifying, serial numbers per se, finding out where these weapons really came from. And the government as well has not really been transparent in providing that information either, because there are records if these guns were purchased legally. And so there really hasn't been a lot of information released about the firearms or, his weapons collection in detail. We hear really vague reports about, he had tannerite, he had weapons, and, his girlfriend's fingerprints were found on the ammo. But you would think that somebody purchasing that many weapons would have, several encounters with people across the country or in Las Vegas or Nevada or usually when you purchase weapons, you have a place or you have a, specific person that you purchase your weapons from. I mean, personally, when I spoke with individuals at SHOT Show in Vegas, a lot of them told me that it would be really uncommon to see, somebody with that many weapons purchasing them from all different types of vendors unless they were gun running.
Yeah, well, related to that, he clearly had a lot of cash. Somehow, this accountant, who probably never made more than $100,000 in a year's salary, is somehow a whale of a high roller, showing billions in winnings in 1 year. But of course, what that really means is that he also had a lot of losses. You report your winnings, you don't report your losses necessarily. So where was he getting all this cash? Is that something that's of interest to you?
Well, like I said, the casino's a really great place to wash your funds if you're trying to hide money. And if it was some type of operation, I mean, it could have been government money. It could have been money given to him by Islamic terrorists or, the individuals who he was potentially gun running to. And of course, I'm not saying that this is what happened, but that's my theory. And I think that's why we're not hearing any information. Because mind you, ISIS took responsibility for the Las Vegas shooting 4 times. They doubled down, within the first day, even after the FBI said that ISIS wasn't responsible. What I don't understand is, how would the FBI know that ISIS wasn't responsible within 8 hours following the shooting if they hadn't even completed their investigation, right? Like, they said they don't know the motive. They don't know who was behind this besides Stephen Psddock. So how do they really know? Also, ISIS has never taken responsibility for an attack that they didn't commit. So,
I was going to mention.
Yeah,
I was going to mention that the one I believe, at least has been determined this way, but who knows, there was the shooting in the Philippines at a casino.
That was even ISIS. That was ISIS. They came out and said that it was ISIS. So
yeah, I know they claimed responsibility, but you believe ultimately that they determined that was ISIS related.
I believe, and I don't think I'm mistaken, but I believe several months later there was an official report that came out and said that ISIS was indeed responsible for that shooting in the casino in Philippines.
Thank you for listening to Hidden Truth, Las Vegas Shooter with Jim Breslow. Find us at hiddentruthshow.com and and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @Hidden Truth Show.